Margaret Ann Windsor. I have to use the name Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. I was kidnapped in 41, born in 39, and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers, and I still have to use that. This is the birth. I'm just going to briefly show you this. I want to get something else. This is the birth certificate for Peggy. They've just marked through the dates, which is illegal. This is the family, and that's the woman, Lana, who killed her twins. They were born out of wedlock, and the family covered it up. That's me. When they did this, they had this photograph. Moulton, Alabama was a pigsty. I mean, that was out there awful. They had to bring in the cars, and they never dressed like that I knew, so it was all staged. Anyway, let me just go to this. My dad's Edward VIII, who never married Wallace Simpson. My father was a decent man, a very good man. That's why they took him out. My dad was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. This is Wallace, who married a double, an imposter, and those photographs that were made that used my dad's name was not even him, my dad. It was the doubles. Now, this is what I wanted to get up here quick, though. I've put up on YouTube over the last almost 4 years about mind control murders done in patterns, which I did a book and was almost killed, so I didn't get it published, back 76 till April Fool Day of 80. I was still full of, I'm not even going to say again, illegally crossed the state line, and where I worked for the district attorney of that condition, Fred Simpson, as in Wallace Warfield Simpson. I'm talking about patterns that murders were done in. Mind control you can't see. So how would you prove it? These were done in patterns. So Mr. Flint was shot while I was doing the book, and I was in Marietta at Moonraker Apartments, and it was owned by the Mormon Church at that time, had been owned by Penthouse Magazine. But Mr. Flint was shot. In April of 84, he did this endorsement. Said, I knew who was responsible for his shooting March the 6th of 78. Now, I'm going to go from there, and I'm just going to show you this one, but there's lists of ongoing mind control murders. This is Century 16 movie theater out in, I guess that's Denver, right? James Holmes is never suffered from mental illness. He suffered from programming, which makes him a total victim. And to treat him and lock him away for something he didn't commit and treat him for an illness that's misdiagnosed, mental illness is not mind control is not mental illness, period. So anyway, to treat it with psychotic drugs or any drugs is the sickest thing I've ever heard of. So I want to go to this. Elizabeth, her dad, George VI, illegal, both of them, helped take down my father. The Bilderbergers, Rothschilds, and Rockefellers, David, especially, control your media. So what Donald Trump is saying about the media, it's totally true. He can't say enough. But I was writing about murders done in patterns, so I wanted to, by the way, I was out there during the U.S. Congressional to replace one of the doctors I had written about, Larry McDonald, Congressman. The plane went down. What I want to say here was, so Larry Flynt had the Bloomingdale tape, so did some other people, and they were killed. That's about Nancy Reagan and her friend, and President Reagan, and their friends, the Bloomingdales. Okay, people were killed. They had those tapes. Now, Larry Flynt was one that had them the last time I heard. Of course, Mr. Flynt was blind. I mean, I don't know about that. I'd put that on some other tapes. He was shot March the 6th of 78. Now then, I was doing a video today, putting it up, when Nancy Reagan come over that she had died. I wanted to put this up because today's March the 6th, 16, but March the 6th is the key to it. Now then, I'd put this up, but I have been kept homeless. Things done to me that are so hideous, ongoing. Remember, I was kidnapped in 41 from Buckingham Palace, so they put me down in a pigsty, and the torture to me and my children and to my mom and dad. I mean, complete total fabrication and lies about them, and to what's been done to my country. Uh, anyway, I was just putting this up because I've had to live on the Appalachian Trail. I've starved. I've frozen since '86. Quite frankly, I'm sitting here wondering what's going to happen to me tomorrow when I really can't afford where I'm at. And anyway, I've put this all up. But this is they would do things when they were told. Like this is Eric Smith. He's that's law enforcement. He's a forest ranger. So he comes out and he tickets me on March the 6th. That's Larry Flint's when he was shot. Only this is an '04. But he gives me a ticket. And I'm supposed to be using it for residential purposes. Well, they leave out all of what's been done to me, and that they move me around, and nobody else gets arrested. I'm up and down, and it's sick, really. You can't tell it, so I might as well stop there. But that's just to try to show you where some of the patterns are. Larry Flint was shot. He had the Bloomingdale tape, and that's connected to Nancy and Ronald Reagan. And I worked for the district attorney, Fred Simpson, in 1980. Worked at Warren House, or not worked, I lived at Warren House. And Warren, while I was working for the district attorney, Warren is a word for the Warren Commission that covered up the Kennedy assassination. Kennedy, JFK, was in on my kidnapping. He and his brother, Joe, flew in to England. He had been appointed, the father had, by Roosevelt as ambassador to England. So they would fly in there. The sons did, even went before Parliament, and made speeches. And it was that time that I was kidnapped. I was born 39, kidnapped in 41. It's all the illegal treaties that were signed after then, too, by Elizabeth, her father, the illegal George VI, my father's own brother, my uncle, who helped the New World Order do all this. Now, when they talk about the establishment up in Washington, the real word they should use is your Illuminati or your global government or one world or trilateral. It's all the same. The Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Kennedys, I'm sorry to say, but the Windsor, some of them anyway. So that's what I wanted to say. That was just a bit of the patterns. But the other thing was that suddenly after this much time, I told about O.J. Simpson, that being in patterns way back then. I told everybody I've taken this when I had no money or food or anything. I've walked. I just can't walk anymore. To the media, but they already knew about my kidnapping, so that's a sick joke that they can take the monarch and insert their own Elizabeth, and I'm Victoria II, heir, the legal heir to the British crown. So I'm going to let it go at that. I've put that up the best I could today. I'm doing the video, and it's concerning the Illuminati, and the whole thing is war on truth and war on me, and they're trying to take down Donald Trump. That's the way it appears to me. And by the way, I wanted to get this in. George Wallace was governor of Alabama. He was running for president, and he was in Laurel, Maryland when he was shot. Lina Dempsey worked in his campaign, not because he was friends of hers. She inserted herself there. She was in Laurel, Maryland when he was shot. That was a mind control. The man was programmed to shoot him, and he's in prison now. I've forgotten his name. But the one thing I want to say about Governor Wallace, and he was running for president, was that Governor Wallace couldn't be bought, okay?